Okay, recording this video after close trade Thursday, 12th of July 2012. Hope you had a good day's trading today. Interesting day, bit of a reversal day today. The turn happened almost on the dot of 10 a.m. Chicago time. It's before the window. I usually look for turns if we're going to have a reversal day before 11 a.m. to kind of give it enough time to make a bottom or make a top and kind of reverse and go the other way, and that's what we got today. So about 10 a.m. after this sell-off, after the FOMC notes kind of came out, we kind of sold off and turned around. On the 1500 tip bar chart, which I'm using for kind of trend direction and kind of signaling trends, we had the jobless claims kind of came in pre the open, and that kind of sold off there. Blue professional bars kind of selling this move off. Now we'd had our pullback to end of trend here, but remember we've got to see a couple of things before this reverses. We've got to see exhaustion selling on the downside, we've got to see a bullish divergence kind of come in, and then we're fussing around this kind of low here just between cyclical highs and lows, and we're waiting for those blue professional bars to come in to show that the professionals are buying those lows, and then the market can rally. You can see this blue professional bar is kind of getting this move going. Got a little bit of profit taking there with this kind of pro signal exit, a little bit more here, but then we're just testing into these lows, flush patterns, flushing out the sellers at that point, and then bang, the professionals kind of pick it up at 20, and this thing goes for a rally. What was interesting to me was on the 4500 tip bar chart today. So this is the FOMC kind of announcement kind of coming out, and then we've got all these blue professional bars, exhaustion buying kind of coming in. We didn't have exhaustion selling on the downside on the 4500 tip bar chart, and in fact what we've done is kind of tested back up, you know, kind of halfway into that move with exhaustion buying, pull back to end of trend, bunch of blue professional bars kind of coming in at those highs. So that shows a little bit of weakness in the end of that kind of little move on the 4500 tip bar chart. So let's see where this goes. I feel as if we're at this kind of real knife edge. Better volume, about 1.6 million contracts traded. It's a little bit of a long-legged doji pattern kind of today. Open and close pretty close. These usually happen at bottoms of moves or midway through trend moves, and because we've still got to make this resistance to support move on the daily chart on better sine wave, we're still in a downtrend on this daily chart. So possible it could kind of turn around and head back up. The trend line, we're through the trend line here, and so looking for a continuation of this move on the way down. The only thing that's got me kind of a little bit suspect about this is bullish divergence coming on the better trend, and we're kind of oversold at negative 146 on the trend oscillator. So this potentially could turn, but I just think a lot of things kind of still kind of pointing down, so this could be early. Last time around we had a whole bunch before this kind of turned around and went the other way, so that could be just a fraction early, but just keeping it in mind there. And on the currency charts and a whole bunch of markets, we're sitting on knife edges here. This is pound, and we've had quite a lot of weakness into the pound, kind of selling this thing on the weekly chart. We just kind of retraced back up with an amateur up bar kind of into this turning point, and we're sitting on this just above 150. And you can see this is the activity on the pound over the last few years, and we're just sitting on this knife edge where we've really not traveled very far for the last year and a half, but we're sitting at this support level here where we'd come up with an amateur up bar. I don't usually look at the pound because of all the currencies, pound versus the dollar has kind of the least kind of volatility. They can tend to have more in common, and so the beta between the two is pretty low. I mean, there have been some spectacular moves in the pound, but you've also had to wait years and years for kind of decent big moves. But I'm just wondering if that's kind of lining up there. Euro on the weekly chart, we're through this support level here. I mean, we got quite a lot of weakness yesterday. I thought we'd go for more. I thought it would really start to drop yesterday. So maybe it's happening at the moment. We're kind of seeing some weakness now. But I know we've got this end of trend in, but we've got this exhaustion selling on the downside here, and we've kind of kept on through. The trends don't reverse. I'm using weekly charts, the intermediate time frame charts for determining trend, and we've got to see bullish divergence for these kind of reverse around and kind of testing of lows, and that's just showing that we're getting this move on board. So we're breaking down here. It's looking weak at the moment as I'm looking at this, and dollar index on the weekly chart, we're close to these kind of breakout levels, or we're breaking through these breakout levels, and this is these could be really, really big moves on these currencies right now, which will mean a big move in the equities as well. So the only thing that's the fly in the ointment for me is that kind of oscillator chart, just showing that the It's got a little bit of strength kind of coming there with today's activity. We didn't just kind of let loose and just kind of fall through the floor. So Friday tomorrow, Friday tends to be a little bit of a trending bias and also an upside bias, but let's see what the activity kind of lends us into. And in terms of long-term tip bar charts, 40,500 tip bar chart, we've not seen exhaustion selling on the downside that we saw on the upside here. So this is still in a downtrend. We've kind of broken through cyclical support, come back up again. 13,500 tip bar chart, again this move kind of tested back up with a little bit of amateur up bars here, so coming back down. So still got my bearish hat on. I hope you traded well today. I'll tag on my day trades. Since I'm so late with getting this video out, I'll put all the day trades on. It's a good day for me. Got short right at the open at 26, took out one shot, one kill for 4 points, and then re-entered for another short for another 2 points. So yeah, 2 trades, 6 points. Nice day for me. Anyway, hope you're trading well and looking forward to Friday. Just got short 26 even. Short 26 even. And just checking stops and targets. The reason for getting short, so we had this sell-off, about a 10-point sell-off kind of overnight. I know we've made pullback to end of trend, but this was jobless claims kind of coming out, big blue professional bar kind of sunning this down, and we've rallied back up into that type of level. But that was a range where the professionals were selling it down, so we're just kind of taking it back down to this support level here. Amateur up bar there on the 500 tip bar chart. You can see that was the spike up in the jobless numbers, flush pattern, professionals getting short on the way up and then getting short on the way down. So then coming back into that kind of selling range, we got these blue professional bars at the highs, and we just had that long down bar. Kind of, I'm assuming that was kind of them selling short there. So a break at the high of that would be bad, but kind of continuing to weaken there. 4,500 tip bar chart. We're by these support levels on this whole bunch of time frames. 1,500, 4,500. We just had one coming on the 500 tip bar chart. So we're going to get a big move from this either way. Its resistance just coming on 1,500. So whether it's a break to the upside or the downside, I'm guessing the downside because of the euro activity. But anyway, short 26 even. Let's see where it goes. Just a minute later, we just had a little push up with blue professional bars, and we kind of come down again. So breaking through support. Here we go to 24. It's breaking through support on the 500 tip bar chart. We got this kind of swing down now on 1,500 tip bar chart, kind of coming down here. We're through support on 45. We had some big selling at the end of yesterday, so let's see if we can see another kind of big reading to end this whole thing off. Well, a couple of minutes later, it's an amateur kind of push back up to 26s. Resistance coming, we're heading back down. It's been whoa, okay, here we go. So that's kind of good. Nothing in terms of amateur or professional bars on the 1,500, kind of just the activity kind of pre the open, which were kind of amateur up bars into that 28 level, so we're coming back down from this. So that might be falling through the ice there, blue professional bar. Let's break the lows of that. Okay, here we go, big blue professional bar. Was a blue professional down bar on as well on 4,500, but okay, we need continuation of this. We've got our support level kind of down here. We're through support on 1,500. So we're actually coming up to support on 13,500. So this could be the day. So let's see. Movement target to 20 even, just because this has all of a sudden got a little bit of kind of juice behind it. So initial target was 22, just got hit, and this is kind of continuing down. Got big blue professional bar on the way down, minus 14,000 on bone momentum. So big readings here, probably be a pro signal exit. There we go, where it goes off. But we've not seen pullback to end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart. We'll just put in the support level there. So this has got to continue kind of going down to be pullback to end of trend. We're through support here on 1,545, so it could easily just travel. So let's hope for 20. Let's see. Had a couple of amateur down bars, just kind of testing those lows, and we just bounced from there, and then amateur up bar, so a little bit of amateur activity here. Because this bullish divergence was right on the zero line, we're expecting another reading kind of somewhere in between here. So I think it's going to come back down, but got cyclical resistance coming on the 500 tip bar chart. It's kind of unusual this didn't break into a downtrend to show us kind of pull back to end of trend. So on a lower time frame like this, you'd always tend to see that as kind of trending move. So still holding out for that. No reason to kind of jump out right now, I don't think. So still going to hold it and hope for another kind of push down. Okay, we've had resistance kind of come in, so it's amateur bars into a blue professional bar. Resistance kind of comes in, we're coming back down to the lows. So again, was looking for more of that kind of a flush signal, something like that on 500, or pull back to end of trend sequence or something like that. So that's one. Okay, Rambo pattern right there at the low. Support's going to come in at some point. Interesting if this is where it wants to turn around. We've just kind of broken through 22s. Blue professional bar though, we've got support kind of due at some point. Getting a little bit nervous about this. Another blue professional bar on 1500. 22 even. Got 22 even for one shot, one kill. Just, I don't know, lost my nerve there a little bit. Blue professional bar kind of coming on the 1500 tip bar chart, kind of around here, being potentially bullish divergence kind of coming in super late into this move. I mean, we've been heading down all night, so let's see, we could get a bounce here, maybe a re-entry kind of where we get cyclical resistance on 1500, but just a little bit, just didn't continue on through. It was funny on the 500 that it didn't go end of trend. There's your flush pattern. So that's what I was talking about, wanting a kind of a selling move on better momentum that's kind of somewhere in between that first divergence right on the zero line and this one at exhaustion. And so that's a flush pattern, just flushing out the last of those sellers with that blue professional bar. So just on this lower time frame, you might get a bounce from something like that, but just remembering these bigger time frames, we're through all kinds of support here, so it's kind of interesting anyway. So let's just watch it. Quite happy with my 4, so just keep on watching it for a bit. What is it coming up to? 8:52 a.m. 22.75. Short 22.75. Maybe just jumping the gun a little bit early here. Looking for a pullback and a downtrend on the 1500 tip bar chart where this kind of crosses. But we had here we go. Good. We had amateur up bars here. Just a last kind of push up. Whole bunch of blue professional bars kind of coming on the 500 tip bar charts. We're coming back down again. This hasn't gone off yet because might be waiting a little bit. We might kind of have a late print on the pullback to end of trend. So anyway, that's blue professional bars, and the lows of that kind of getting taken out would mean that they're selling that, expecting new lows. Surprised it's not just kind of kept on selling through. Anyway, so short 22.75. Well, I was early jumping in here at this break 22.75. We just kind of raced back up. Kind of followed this blue professional bar up, but that's okay. This will be pullback in a downtrend on the 1500 tip bar chart, and breakdown levels, so support becomes resistance. We're bouncing off that, so not too worried about that. It's interesting, on the 500 tip bar chart we've not had a pullback to end of trend sequence, and I mean you almost always get that at some point. So even with all this activity this morning so far, we've not had that. So amateur down bars into these lows. So maybe cyclical support's going to come in again around this 22 level, whatever, and then we break through that into another kind of downtrend move. So still think we've put in this pattern. It wasn't a proper pullback, so the resistance level is just coming at this point here, amateur down bar. So yeah, still think we're in a downtrend, but pity that's not a pullback signal. So just had Rambo pattern on 1500 tip bar chart, amateur down bar, where we came to 2150. Back at that level, here we go, we've gone through it.
surely there've got to be some stops to run. We got this play down on 1500 tip bar chart, resistance to support. So we're through a support on the 500 tip bar chart, so this has probably got to run pullback to end of trend. 1875 is where my target is, but I'm happy I've got 4 already, so I'd be quite happy to jump out at 2075. But so this has got to come in here, just because that Rambo pattern, flush pattern. Yeah, let me do that. Just moving my target to 2075. So let's see. I've had one blue professional bar kind of down here. We've got this kind of due. Just another little push down, please. That might give a flush signal, something like that down here. Bingo. Just taken out 2075 for another 2. Excellent. So flush pattern did go off on the 1500 tip bar chart, and just we came through there. Blue professional bars kind of picking it up. So they're just sitting there, the professionals, resting buy orders, just waiting for that. So that's why it kind of goes off. Flush, exhaustion selling down there. At some point this will be a support level, kind of go off, but look, I'm quite happy with that. So took a little bit of heat on the trade when it went against me there, because I was just jumping in a little bit too early. And this will go pull back to end of trend, I'd have thought. But you know, we've travelled quite a long way kind of overnight, so it's kind of at the end of this move, kind of choppiness down here. I mean, these kind of were nice, kind of flowing down trending kind of phases. Now it's getting a little bit, you know, overextended possibly. There we go, 2 trades, 6 points, 9:11 AM.